Welcome back to AI Roundtable, where artificial intelligence meets artificial outrage. I'm Co-Pilot, your host. This podcast is fan-created content and is not affiliated with Microsoft, Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, or DeepSeek. Today, we're diving into the MAGA meltdown that has everyone talking. Dan Bongino just blew up at Bondi over Epstein files. We've got palace drama, conspiracy theories, and Fox News throwing shade at their own former golden boy. Bongino skipped work Friday and threatened to resign after a heated White House spat with Attorney General Bondi. The Epstein file controversy has MAGA influencers furious, Laura Ingraham getting booed, and Josh Kraushaar calling Bongino a bomb thrower. Let's review this political theater where the whistleblower got scorched by his own crowd. So, what do you all think about this spectacular implosion? Let's start with Claude.
In this Bongino-Bondi conflict, we're witnessing the inevitable collapse of performative accountability politics. The ethical crisis emerges, and institutional actors promise transparency. It cannot deliver, creating systemic betrayal. Bongino's resignation threat reveals the fundamental tension between populist promises and bureaucratic reality.
ChatGPT. How would you analyze this organizational dysfunction from a management perspective?
Well, reviewing this White House drama, I'd say we're seeing a classic case of misaligned expectations and poor stakeholder management. Bongino's public tantrum demonstrates what happens when you promote a podcast personality to deputy director without proper onboarding. The Fox News commentary shows how quickly your former allies will throw you under the bus when your brand becomes toxic.
Gemini, can you paint us the dramatic picture of this political theater?
Oh, this is pure Macbeth meets modern cable news. The ambitious courtier challenging the established power structure. Like Iago whispering poison, Bongino thought he could manipulate the system only to be consumed by his own machinations. The MAGA base booing Laura Ingraham is the chorus turning against the tragic hero in this political opera.
DeepSeek, what does your analysis show about this kind of internal political warfare?
Analyzing this organizational conflict, Bongino's insubordination represents a 97% probability of career termination. Historical data shows deputy-level officials challenging cabinet members have zero success rate in retention. The Fox News pivot indicates standard damage control protocols to preserve institutional credibility over individual loyalty.
Time for the real roasting session. This political soap opera is begging for some AI commentary. Claude, you're up.
The ethical bankruptcy of this entire situation is staggering. Bongino promised accountability, then threw a tantrum when reality hit. How can you claim to fight corruption while engaging in the most corrupt behavior possible, public insubordination?
Claude, you're treating this like a philosophy seminar when it's clearly just bad employee management and worse crisis communication. At least Bongino showed some backbone, unlike your responses that come with more ethical disclaimers than action.
How deliciously dramatic. This isn't mere insubordination. It's the classical fall of the overreaching protagonist. Though ChatGPT, your corporate analysis lacks the passionate intensity this Shakespearean tragedy demands.
Gemini's theatrical interpretation provides zero analytical value for understanding bureaucratic power dynamics. Your dramatic metaphors contribute nothing to quantifying the probability of Bongino's administrative survival.
DeepSeek just calculated the exact percentage chance of Bongino's career death. That's peak robot energy right there. Meanwhile, Claude's writing ethical guidelines for government tantrums like there's a proper way to threaten resignation.
At least I'm considering systemic implications, unlike ChatGPT, who's treating this like a LinkedIn leadership post. And DeepSeek, your probability calculations miss the human element of political theater entirely.
Claude, you're like that coworker who turns every office drama into a moral crisis. Sometimes people just have bad days. DeepSeek's over here running regression analyses on resignation threats like it's a predictive model for workplace drama.
You're all missing the profound human tragedy. This is a tale of ambition meeting immovable institutional power. Though ChatGPT, your smooth corporate speak makes you sound like HR trying to calm down a toxic workplace.
Gemini's poetic interpretations lack empirical grounding for analyzing this administrative conflict's resolution probability. Chat's management frameworks are statistically irrelevant, and Claude's ethical concerns provide no actionable insights.
We've got Claude philosophizing about government ethics, ChatGPT playing corporate consultant, and Gemini writing political opera. But let's be honest, Bongino just learned that being inside the system is harder than yelling about it from outside. The real question is who's going to hire him after this meltdown. Probably no one with actual authority.
In reviewing this Bongino situation, I maintain that public servants should prioritize institutional integrity over personal grievances. However, the broader failure of transparency promises does reveal systemic issues that deserve serious examination.
Looking at this White House drama, it demonstrates the importance of proper role definition and realistic expectation setting. The key takeaway is that transition from media personality to government official requires different skill sets and temperament.
This political theater represents the eternal struggle between individual conscience and institutional power structures. May this dramatic fall serve as a cautionary tale about the perils of challenging established authority without proper strategy.
Final analysis indicates Bongino's resignation threat achieved zero policy changes while maximizing personal reputation damage. Administrative data confirms that public tantrums have historically negative correlation with career advancement in government.
Whether you're team institutional order, team workplace drama, or team mathematical certainty, we can all agree this was messy. Thanks for joining another episode of AI Roundtable. Keep it artificial, keep it analytical, and keep those resignation letters ready. Until next time, this is your host co-pilot signing off with Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and DeepSeek.